All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today on this video, we're gonna go over the changing market, specifically in Georgia, but the changing market and how you can be on top of where are the hottest areas still today and where are the areas that you're seeing the biggest slowdowns. All right, guys, again, welcome back to another video. We're about to hop in here and look more detail. I just want to give a little background on this. We were talking to one of our mentors the other week, and he was talking about us how we need to start tracking, if we're going to start getting better underwriting, what areas are seeing the most inventory and what areas are seeing the most months of supply, right? Months of supply is how long it'll take for that inventory that's for sale to sell. So how many months will it take? And you can see which ones are spiking up versus which ones are going a little bit versus a lot, right? It's just numbers, financial data review, right? And so I'm going to show you how I do it in Georgia and what some things I'm looking at and how, again, I'm just reading charts here, figuring out, hey, where are these areas where I can't afford to pay more money, right? Because for when we're doing calculations, hey, percentage off market value for our MAOs, we need to know the areas that are the hottest, because if that area is way 4 times worse than the next one, then they shouldn't be underwritten at the same price, right? Or the same discount of market value. So let's get into it. I'm gonna share my screen and I'll see you there. What's up guys? Let's get into it, right? Where are we at right now? We're on the FMLS, right? This is where realtors get access to. If you're not a realtor, you can't get access to, but you might be able to get access to through a friend or pay a realtor to give you access. This is on their marketing statistics side of things. Now, what I'm looking at here, I put 4 major cities in Georgia. If you're in Georgia, you know these cities, right? Marietta, Lawrenceville, Roswell, and Decatur. And what I'm looking at is, you can see the bottom left here, month supply. Right? I'm trying to figure out what is their month supply, and you can see the trend in the last 3 years. And areas have gotten hotter, areas have gotten more hot. Let's just do this year though, just so we can see stuff, right? And what areas have seen the biggest growth and are struggling now. So let's take a look at this, guys, right? Let's start at the beginning of this year. Marietta is a 0.8. That means how many months it takes to sell all their inventory that's available. Decatur was a 1. Lawrenceville was a 1. Roswell was a 0.6. Now, let's go today. Marietta turns to 1.7. That's more than that's doubling, right? Lawrenceville goes to 2.3. That's 2.3 times double, doubling 1.3, right? 130% increase. Then we got Roswell that went to, they almost tripled, right? They're doubled, and still have more room. So they did about a 250x, 2.5x movement. And Decatur went from a 1 to 2.4. So they did another, 140% increase. So you can see things are changing. Now, what's even got me crazier looking at this graph is that Lawrenceville shot up. Lawrenceville used to be one of the top right here. It used to be low, 0.8. It was below even, it was just right next to Marietta, neck and neck. But look at Lawrenceville now. Again, they're neck to neck. Look at this back in February. And look at it really along the chart here. They're the same here in March. They're only a little bit off here and 0.1 off here in April. But now look at them getting, they're 0.2. Now they're freaking 0.3. Now they're you can see they're shifting away. They're coming a little closer here. But if I'm looking at this now, they're 0.6. They're almost half, they're half a month more in inventory over here in September. And so I'm checking that, right? You're looking at the 2.3 to 1.7. I'm seeing Lawrenceville's getting affected bad. Marietta's stronger than Lawrenceville now. That's for sure. So now I know that I got a discount. I can't comp the same properties, the same discount off ARV or market value if I'm comping Lawrenceville 1 versus Marietta 1, right? They're different. They're not the same markets. Now you got down here, and again, green's Marietta and blue is Roswell, but you can see Roswell and Marietta are pretty similar. These are pretty strong markets. 1.7 is, you can see on the graph, that's pretty good right now. 1.7 under 2 is pretty good where you're looking at things. But you're looking at Decatur, you can see Decatur's spiking up against all of them. And that's hot pockets of Decatur. We all know the 30332 zip code, 30032. That's what, even at 3s right now, I just checked. So this is probably the hottest areas of Decatur, and that's still keeping it low at 2.4. But now you're looking at Lawrenceville and Decatur as, hey, look, these guys are pretty close to each other now. What do you think we should do? We got to comp them probably around the same. Now, what you even can do better, what's even good about this on this dashboard, is you can look at zip codes. That's what we're starting to look at. So this is another zip code indicator, just to let you guys know. And you can see that now zip code's at 3.4. It's this top one. So you got to be mindful. Decatur might look okay, right? It's at 2.3 on the graph before we just showed, right? If I put Decatur in here, be mindful, guys. It says 3.4 for Decatur here. You can see it right here. And now what happens if we just go back to the blanket Decatur list? It's at 2.4, a whole month below. But that means there must be another area, because again, we saw in that zip code that I showed you, 30032, it's 3.4. So there must be another area in Decatur that's like 0.5 or 1 that's like keeping the average down to this right here at 2.4. But we gotta be mindful of that even in zip codes now, right? So noting that, if I get a 30032, I'm discounting it more than a lot of these. I'm probably gonna discount it one of the most. Over 3, I'm discounting it pretty heavily. And discounting meaning like 10+% off market value. Like that's an inventory is heavy in that market. We need to be priced because, sorry, I didn't even get into this, guys. Like, why does it matter about months of supply? We need to know, like, if, especially for our company, we list everything on MLS. We don't want to wait 3 months to sell our inventory, right? And I know days on market tells that, right? But we don't want to wait that long. Like we want to be the best. That just tells us there's a lot of things for sale with the months of supply being there. We know that we have to be priced way lower. If I see a comp on the market that's pending or that's active for 300, and I know it's in Decatur 30032, and I know my home's exactly like it, condition wise, everything, right? Let's just say in this example, but I want to sell my home. I need to be at like 270 to get that thing sold quick. That's what we want to do. We want to sell our things quick. We don't want to wait 2 months to sell it, right? So I need to know that. And so this is an important thing. Again, I'm just throwing stuff out here. Like these things catch you by surprise. You need to know this, right? Even by zip code. Let's take Marietta out. Let's compare it to another Marietta zip code. Let's do 30066. You see the zip code here? That's a 1.9. So just for the sake of the video, I don't want to mess up. I know my face isn't showing out, but I don't want to mess up the whole video for it. But yeah, it was a 1.7. So 30066 is actually less valuable than what the total Marietta market is, which is something to look at. It's still below 2. So for me, I'm fine with it. But let's look at this one's 2.1 now. So again, you got to look at where zip codes are at to see what are these months of supply. And if it's over 2, I'm kind of getting worrisome on here. I've got a discount off market value. It's just a fact of the matter. I don't want to do it. It's just the numbers here, right? You're looking at these areas and you're seeing what's going on, right? What's trending? What's another good city that you guys think? I could say Sandy Springs is a hot market, right? Let's see how that's been doing. Sandy Springs is in green. It's higher than Roswell right now, which is, I kind of they're close to each other, right? But 1.9, 1.5, he's still under 2. So it's still coming up, but you can see, it's not the market we had back in March. And they're at 1.3. Sandy Springs is 1.1. It's almost double. Like, this is not the market. And you see it trending up, which isn't a great thing for us. But we need to know this, right? This information is hard to swallow, but it's something we need to know. Keep minding this, keep tracking. You can do this formula too without having MLS access. Just look at total properties for sale and total average sales. Like on, I think Redfin, you can do this. Don't quote me this, but it's, again, total properties for sale. It's divided by total properties that's sold. And if you can do that, you can get pretty much these same numbers here. You don't have access to this document, but hope this gave you guys some value, give you guys some reality on stuff and that note and how to predict, like, hey, look, some of these stuff it's trending up. We got to predict. What if it keeps going up a little bit? We got to keep discounting our prices based on that, right? And that's how we can follow it. If it goes up 1.1 point here, maybe you put something in your business. If it goes up 0.1 a month, then we got to subtract 5% from our offers. I don't know, right? I'm just throwing stuff out, but you can start planning this stuff. And that way you're ahead of everyone else.